So today we're picking a topic suggested by you guys on Instagram.
Got one already picked out. Want a free Xbox One, link in my bio. I think that might be spam. Today's question comes from Steve
Steve Abinato.
His Instagram is just Steve_Ab. He wants us to talk about character design. What makes iconic characters successful, memorable to us? Not just comics, but gaming as well. How the powerful imagery works in hand with good storytelling. Yeah.
There was a similar question in there too.
Who are your favorite characters, like from comics, games, books, movies?
And that was by Pizza King.
Nope, that was by...
Pizza. Nope. Never mind.
That was by
your
Gary.
Your friend Hellboy.
Hellboy sent us this, so...
Alright, so... What makes a good character design?
Simplicity. Simplicity, I feel, trumps most things overall.
I think it depends on the game or story, because now in like Naughty Dog games or like hyper realistic stuff, they're trying to get really complex with accessories on top of the character, and I think it works a lot of the time.
But by contrast, you look at, the 90s era of comics, your Jim Lee created stuff, your Liefeld stuff, McFarlane, things like the Image guys, and whenever they created a character, all their characters were very overly designed.
Right.
Very, full of techno gear and pouches and guns and this and that. Whereas you look at the classic characters, your Supermans, your Batmans, your Spider-Mans, they're all very simplistic, very, 1 to 2 colors, very bold colors, not a whole lot going on there. So I definitely think simplicity, will always win over complexity in terms of basic character design.
I definitely would not say all.
Well, you're more of an artist, so...
Well, people love characters like Kirby.
Yeah,
which is the absolute most basic you can get.
Yeah,
that was actually a placeholder image that they just decided to keep. It was just a pink dot, and they're like, let's just put eyes on it.
Yeah.
Sonic is also super simplistic.
Yeah.
Mario is kind of simple.
Yeah.
Toad is definitely simple. So that works, but I think it also works. You always have to start with something really basic. So when creating a character design, you want all of the different characters to have different shapes to them. They even do this in movies and TV, especially with cartoons and comic books especially. The only way you can tell the difference between different characters is the shapes of their heads or body features and stuff.
Yeah.
So one character will be tall and lanky, and another character will be built, muscular, and another character will be his face will be like an oval this way.
Yeah.
They do that so you can differentiate the different characters at a quick glance. You have to be able to differentiate the characters at a quick glance. If you look at Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, they have different silhouettes. Same thing goes with all of the characters in a comic book. They should all have different silhouettes. So you start off the character design with basic shapes, and then you make it more complex, and then you make it more complex.
But you don't want to go too complex. A good example of this is you compare the Avengers with the live-action Transformers movies. In the Transformers movies,
that's super complex.
With the exception of Optimus and Bumblebee, you can't really tell which Transformer is on screen because they're all very highly technical. They're all gray. Optimus is blue and red, and Bumblebee is yellow, and there's the only way you can distinguish them.
Those are the only ones that I know.
Yeah.
And Jazz, because I know that car.
Contrast that with the Avengers, where all the heroes have a unique color scheme, and the ones that don't have a unique shape. Like Black Widow and Hawkeye are both wearing black, but you could tell the difference because one's a man, one's a woman.
Or body type. Hawkeye is noticeably shorter than the other ones.
Yeah, and the Hulk is obviously green, Captain America's blue, Iron Man is red.
Captain America's built, Iron Man isn't.
Yeah.
the Hulk is obviously gigantic.
Yeah.
Also, if a character is really, really big, their heads are proportionally bigger. So like a normal human is I think like 6 heads tall. You take their head, you multiply it by 6, and that's the length of their body. A superhero is supposed to be 7 or 8 heads tall because it's supposed to be bigger.
Yeah.
So they look lankier. A big guy like the Hulk is like 4 or 5 heads tall because he's so big. His head is proportionally like as big as his body. So that's another way to do some character design.
Right.
Also, you want to keep it simple if you're doing like cartoons. That way, because you have to draw the guy like a couple thousand times per episode.
Yeah, when they were making Batman the animated series, Poison Ivy's classic costume is just made up of all different leaves. In the comics, they draw every single leaf because they have the time. But cartoon, they can't really do that, so they just gave her like a green bodysuit with like little leafy flourishes here and there.
Right.
That's one solution to that issue.
Right. And because in cartoons, other people are going to be drawing that character. Right. In comics, like they redesigned all of the DC heroes with the New 52.
Right. And that, to me, that's an example of things getting overly complicated unnecessarily, because now everybody's got all these lines on them that's just really, that they don't need to be there.
I don't mind Batman.
I do, because he's got like lines in weird places. Like he's got 3 lines coming out of his bat for no reason.
Well,
like I get it's supposed to be armor, but if you look, actually his character model from Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe did the same thing, but a little bit better.
I think it varies from artist to artist. That like they redesigned Batman and all of the other DC superheroes, and they gave that guideline to all of the artists.
Right.
But they still take their own little spin on it.
Yeah, because I don't think Capullo draws those lines. He doesn't draw as many lines as like Jim Lee does.
No, I like his lines.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jim Lee draws a lot of lines. I don't like Superman's lines.
Yeah.
Those are stupid. Those should not be there.
Yeah.
But Batman, it's armor.
Yeah.
You got armor. So.
In video games, switch over to that world for a minute. A good thing with character design is you want your character to stand out from the rest of the world so that you know where he is at all times.
Right.
You look at, the classic Devil May Cry series. Dante was wearing red, but his like background was there was never any red in the background, so you could always see like where he is and what he's doing.
The same thing goes with cartoons and stuff, because I mean you don't want them to get lost in the background, but it's more so with video games, because you want to keep your eye on the ball.
Yeah. Also, too, going back to the simplicity of it, because sometimes the character model will be like that big, on screen, and you want to be able to see him as clearly as possible. The more like crap you put on him, that's just going to obscure it more and more.
Right.
So, and plus too, like when you're in the action, everything's getting hectic. You want to be able to see him better.
Right. With newer games, newer action games, they're trying to add all this equipment to the characters. That's what's making it more complex. They're trying to make it more realistic and giving them like flashlights and all these satchels and stuff, kind of like you said, like the 90s superheroes. But I mean, they're doing a much better job.
Yeah, well, 'cause they can learn from that.
Yeah.
But then again, you look at Batman in Arkham Knight compared to how he was in Arkham City, and it's way too complex for a Batman costume. It's almost like, Iron Man-ish, which, that's just not how Batman dresses.
In normal, like, movies and even comics and stuff, that they start putting everything together with a story. Obviously, you gotta write the story first. You need a good story, or else nothing good's gonna happen. In video games, now they start with the character design, which is super weird. Sometimes they'll have an idea for a game, like a very, very, very basic idea, like this thing's gonna shoot at this stuff.
Yeah.
But if it's an action game, like for instance, The Last of Us, they draw the characters first.
Right.
And then they say, what type of world do these characters live in? So character design is like incredibly important with video games. Oh, there are some other questions here, but I will probably get to them.
Yeah, we'll get to them eventually.
Yeah,
we promise.
But that's. Oh wait, do we answer it fully?
Yeah, I think so.
One of them was what are our favorite characters?
Oh, yeah. We didn't get that.
Who are your favorite characters, like from comics, gaming? Favorite characters.
Oh, geez.
I guess that's not including design.
Right. I guess, well, I mean...
Design-wise, I love the assassins from Assassin's Creed.
Well, I think, if chances are your favorite characters are going to have something, like, have really good design. Like, the assassins have excellent design. They're very simple. I mean, yeah, each one is a little different here and there, but they all have the same basic look.
Right.
Very simple white hood look. The good white hoods, not those other white hooded guys.
Most of the reason why I love Sonic so much is his design.
Yeah.
Not so much, and because he's like cute little cartoon, but he's super badass.
All right, important question: classic design or modern design?
I don't mind pre-Sonic Boom modern design.
Me neither.
I like it a lot.
The Sonic Adventure era.
I don't really like chubby Sonic.
The classic Sonic.
Yeah. I mean chubby Sonic, because in the cartoons he was chubby, and in the first game, like in Sonic 1 and 2 he was chubby, but in Sonic 3 the game, inside of the game he was not
leaner.
chubby.
Yeah,
he was leaner.
See, I look at that. I look at classic Sonic versus modern Sonic. I look at that like classic Mickey Mouse, black and white, just the black dots for eyes, versus modern Mickey Mouse, where he's a lot more detailed. He's got the wide eyes and like the brown right here. That's what it is to me. Some people like it classic, some people like it modern, but it's the same character. So,
Also, I really like Joel from Last of Us.
Right.
I like, I had one in my head, I forgot.
I like
Knuckles. I like Knuckles. Spider-Man, I love him as a character. Don't like his stories.
Yeah. Solid Snake is another classic. Again, I like the character. Gray Fox.
Love Gray Fox.
Again, I like the character.
That's some good concept art.
I like the characters, but I don't like the story so much. Leon from Resident Evil is an excellent character. He's poorly acted in the second game, but he got better in 4 and 6. And just him as a character is great. The story's not in the game's not so much, but
right. Oh, of course, Mario.
In terms of
Batman.
Batman, Robin, the whole Bat family, I would say, definitely in there.
I'm trying to look around. Oh, Luke Skywalker.
The
definitive character.
The greatest cinematic character in the history of movies. Close second to that, Marty McFly.
I was just gonna say Marty McFly. The two best cinematic characters.
Yeah.
I'm looking around the room to see what else, but I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, that's basically it. That's
character design and our favorite characters.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think?
What are some of your favorite character designs and some of your favorite characters of all time?
Yes. All across all medias.
Yes.
Leave it in the comments below. Add us on Twitter.
Anywhere on social media.
Most important thing to do is share this with your friends and subscribe.
And like it.
And talk to us on Instagram.
Yeah.
And we'll talk back.
We will. Promise. Scout's honor.
Yeah, thank you guys very much.
Have a good week. Now, this is nothing against the creators. Mark Waid is one of the best comic writers ever, and Fiona Staples has been doing continually great work on Saga. But her image for the relaunch is a far cry from the Archie we all typically know.
So during my first night playing with the expansion, I was not so into it. I blasted through the 3 campaign missions and I thought, that's it? That was $20?